For centuries, London was the center of the vast British Empire. But there was a time when it was a mere outpost on the fringes of another.
Nowhere is that more evident than here. This wall marks the boundary of the Roman settlement, built nearly 2,000 years ago.
Londinium, as the Romans called it, was a trading post. With trade came wealth. But as the Roman Empire began to recede, so did London's fortunes. The first Anglo-Saxons slipped into the region in the 6th century under the cover of the Dark Ages. Though not until after the Norman invasion of 1066 would the city truly become an economic and political powerhouse. Which brings us to the Tower of London.
This building here is the great Norman keep, built on the orders of William the Conqueror.
Yeoman Sergeant Bob Laughlin guards the Queen and the tower.
It signifies to all London, the Normans are here, we're going to rule you, and we are the boss.
This was shock and awe.
That's the one.
The tower would figure prominently in the city's history,
And it is a Queen's house.
serving as a palace, a zoo,
Apparently for food every day, we tried to feed the elephant on loaves of bread, raw meat, and buns.
an armory, and a treasure chest for the crown jewels.
Yeah, but are they really the crown jewels?
Trust me, they are the real crown jewels.
But the Tower of London is probably best known as a prison.
Two wives of Henry VIII, Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard, lost their heads on this very spot.
The prisoner will be brought up onto the scaffold, given a chance to speak, and then generally they pay the executioner as well.
I'm to be executed and I pay the executioner?
Yes, hope to do a good, clean job.
Executioners weren't the only ones looking for a cut of London's prosperity. And by 1600, the city's population began to swell. It was the age of discovery, science, and literature. But the 17th century also proved to be a time of great turmoil. In 1665, a catastrophic plague would afflict London. And if that wasn't enough, a year later, a great fire engulfed the city.
This fire starts at 1 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of the night when everyone's asleep, so it gets hold before much can be done about it. So day one,
Mariel Jeter is a curator at the Museum of London.
Even though it burnt down about a quarter of London, the fire spread slowly enough that people could escape.
How long before the city was rebuilt?
It takes about 50 years to rebuild London in total.
London may not be on the sea, but in the 18th and 19th centuries, it ruled the waves as the capital of an empire on which the sun never sets. Queen Victoria and capitalism reigned.
The Victorian age, and it's kind of about shopping. Where did all these goods come from?
They're kind of the result of empire and industry, which meant that we had links to products that we'd never had before, and you've got factories with machines actually making things, and a growing middle class who was able to purchase them.
There were more than 6 million Londoners at the dawn of the 20th century, and a bright future awaited the world's largest and wealthiest city. Then came the First and Second World Wars. During the Nazi Blitz of 1940 and 41, London was under constant bombardment. But its citizens remained calm and carried on, buoyed by the oratory of Winston Churchill.
Out of this time of trial and tribulation will be born a new freedom and glory for all mankind.
Britain would emerge victorious, but exhausted, and its age of empire faded beneath history's horizon. London, though scarred, remained a beacon for those seeking opportunity. In the 1950s and 60s, a new wave of immigrants would change the face of the city. 4 lads from Liverpool would also come to call it home. and once again exert British influence across the seas. Today, London maintains its vibrancy as an international capital of commerce, as a center of culture, and as one of the most cosmopolitan cities under the sun.